Hello and welcome to Quartzlight, your car brochure channel, and in today's episode we're going to continue our journey with this 1978 Vauxhall all model catalogue. We're now up to the Mark I Vauxhall Cavalier. Hello and welcome back, and Quartzlight, if you don't know, we're a car brochure channel here on YouTube, looking at car brochures from around the world for the 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s, and sometimes beyond that remit as well. So if you're interested in cars, car knowledge, looking back at cars your parents had, please consider subscribing. It is completely free. Like I say, we're on a bit of a journey with this 1978 Vauxhall all model range. We've already looked at the Chevette, we've already looked at the aging Viva, we're now up to the fabulous Mark I Cavalier. 1978 was a good year for the Cavalier as well. There was a few little updates for that lovely Mark I, so let's have a look at that now. So essentially this is actually part 3 of this journey, but really doesn't matter what order you look at them, and I will do a link at the end to include all the models as we do them. This particular brochure is showing October to December 78, so right at the end of the year, Vauxhall all model catalogue. And then let's turn to the page we're looking at. So here it is, the Cavalier. I always liked the Mark I Cavalier actually. I always thought it looked so much nicer than the different generations of Cortina as we went through. I always thought it looked a little bit more sporty really, and I always loved the sort of droop snoot idea there. Of course it's a restyled version of the Opel Ascona B with a longer hood and that sort of droop snoot nose that Vauxhall used to like sticking on the front there. We'll start by having a look at some of the text and some of the images, and then we'll start talking about some of the little changes that happened for 78. So it tells us the Cavalier's high standards of style, comfort and equipment are not usually associated with family cars. A wide range is covered from two-door saloon through to elegant coupe and sports hatch, all with the handling and ride of the highest order. The range starts with the Cavalier 1300L with the choice of 2 or 4-door saloons, followed by the 1600L, also in 2 or 4-door versions. The Cavalier GL 4-door saloon has even more luxury, plus the choice of 1600 or 2000 power. Then there's a superb Cavalier 2000 GLS Coupe, every inch as good as it looks. At the top of the range, the Cavalier GLS Sport Hatch with the choice of a 1600 or 2000 power units. These are the Cavaliers that combine exceptional style with useful extra carrying capacity, up to 20.3 cubic feet of cargo space. Images include this rather lovely GL saloon in red. In the back there we've got the 2-door coupe and the rather interesting version of this sort of sports hatch. We've got these interesting new model now for 78. Other changes are that 1.3 for the base model arrived in 78 and the 1.9 replaced with the 2 litre. But an interesting range of cars I think for the Cavalier, and of course, you know, these aren't Mantas, they are Cavaliers. Anyway, let's turn the page and have a look how the range starts. And indeed the range starts with the L. The base model is an L. This can be had as a 2-door or 4-door saloon, 1300 or 1600 power. We'll start by looking a little bit at the description, then we'll come back to these lovely images. So it says here, Cavalier, its practicality and driver appeal show in many ways. Hard-wearing cloth upholstery, fitted front inertia reel seat belts, full carpeting, well laid out controls and a sensibly shaped boot of 13.6 cubic feet score top marks for drivers. It then lists a long list of features, but really all things you kind of like expect anyway. Cloth trim's nice, no reclining front seats, inertia reel seat belts, fitted carpet, full door trim, boot mat, extensive sound insulation, front and rear armrests, which is nice, sports steering wheel, centre console and tray, twin sun visors, glove box, rear view mirror, front assist strap, childproof rear locks, coat hooks, vanity mirror, internal bonnet lock, heated rear window, 2-speed wipers and intermittent wipe, electric screen wash, interior light, front door courtesy switches, ashtrays front and rear, fresh air heater and blower fan, illuminated heater controls, adjustable face level air vents, side window demist, and the second column shows through floor ventilation system, rear extractor vents, instruments, speedometer, odometer, fuel and water gauges, warning lights, etc, etc. We've got a manual choke on the 1300 models, and exterior features underbody seal, acrylic lacquer paint, double coach line, halogen headlamps, rubber bumper inserts, driver's door mirror, hazard warning flashers, reverse lights, tyre size, L boot on badge, and a choice of 11 colours. Options: auto transmission for the 1600 and metallic paint. So yeah, it all seems very sort of basic things by today's standard, but for an L trim I think it's pretty good. We got this little bit of a diagram with the flue heating and ventilation system. A look at the rear of the Cavalier. I always thought the Mark 1 looked really nice from the rear as well. It's a pretty classy looking car for what is just quite a base family car in this L trim. Sadly no headrest, but a nice interior, I think, all blue like that. I quite like the cloth look of those seats. The front end, that's typical, you know, I quite like. I preferred the Cavalier over the Ascona B actually, just for that droop snoot, although they actually sold side by side in the UK at the time, interestingly enough. An interesting colour, like I say, a really good colour choice, you know, what, 7 colours to choose from? Good choice for a base model. This looks like a metallic, so you would have to pay a bit more, but it certainly suits it. Just a driver's door mirror though, but that was nothing unusual for the 70s in the UK. But of course we can go up the range and get a few more niceties with the GL. This is a 4-door saloon available with a 1600 or 2 litre 1.3 just for that base model. It says as good as it looks and more. So let's have a look at the text. So the GL, regarded as grand luxury, because that is precisely what the Cavalier GL is all about. It offers it in generous measure. In the refined exterior styling, in the plush interior, Cavalier looks the part. From its styled sports road wheels to its distinctive bright sill and protective waist mouldings. Inside the Cavalier GL's high level of luxury is set off by rich velour cloth upholstery, hard-wearing and comfortable, and thick carpeting. Even the front and rear lower door sections are carpeted to avoid scuffing. Additional sound insulation makes the Cavalier GL as quiet as a whisper, and there's a host of extra equipment to add to your comfort and convenience. Choose the performance level you require with GM's auto transmission option on either engine. On top of that base L model specification, we get extras like velour cloth trim, which is really nice, carpeted lower doors, additional sound insulation, dipping rear view mirror, rear assist straps, extra bright work, boot light, cigar lighter, quartz activated clock. And then it goes down to say on the exterior we get extra bright work, body side mouldings with PVC inserts, sports road wheels, bright wheel trim rings, different tyre sizes, GL boot badge, and then options of course is that auto transmission and metallic paint. That is your 3-dial layout, which is shared for both the L and the GL. And that's a nice little image of the energy absorbing front and rear sections. So I guess the road wheels on this very tiny picture really makes it stand out from the base L. A glimpse on the inside reveals those much nicer velour seats. They do look very nice, and that carpeting lower section on the door cards. And then the main image is this white example, again showing off those sports road wheels. Bit of extra bright work of course, and you can glimpse in at that velour trim on that one. Lots of really amazing colours for the Cavaliers on the inside. They weren't scared to put a bit of colour inside, and that just wasn't for Vauxhall. That was really GM all around the world in the 70s doing that, and I quite liked it, I must admit. Next up is the GLS, although as you can see the GLS is a two-door coupe only, 2000 engine, so you didn't even get an engine choice, you just got a 2-litre GLS. It says the car that outsmarts them all. It was pretty stylish. Yeah, these are badged Cavalier. Anyway, let's have a look at the text. So the 2000 GLS Coupe is special. It has space, lots of it, for up to 5, and pace, lots of it, from a punchy 2-litre, plus crisp handling to suit your driving and superb road holding. Whichever way you drive, with front air spoiler to give extra stability, reduced drag to match all the go. Full instruments include large matching speedometer and rev counter. There's impressive stopping power too, with a superb braking system incorporating servo assistance, front discs, dual circuit and pressure conscious valve. Now some of these specs are actually going to repeat themselves from the GL, because this is the specs what you have on top of the L. So again, you get velour cloth trim, carpeted lower doors, additional sound insulation, continental front armrests, wood veneer door inserts, so there certainly is extras on here, 4-spoke sports steering wheel, driver's map pocket, dipping mirror, rear assist straps, interior roll bar, opening rear vents or quarter vent, extra bright work, boot light, cigar lighter, quartz activated clock, instrument console, incorporated rev counter, voltmeter, oil pressure gauge. So yeah, we get a rev counter on this more sportier model. Exterior features extra bright work, front air spoiler, body side mouldings with PVC inserts, sports road wheels, bright wheel trim rings. Shows the radial tyre size, GLS boost badge, and same options of auto transmission and metallic paint. Look from the rear, and I always quite like the design of these actually. They do look something a little bit different, and again they're in yellow. The interior, similar story, nice velour, no head restraints again though, but if we zoom in we do get a little bit of wood on those doors by the looks of it. We get a bit of a sort of gauge there, or a dashboard showing the gauges, how they are for this particular model. Main image there of the GLS in quite an attractive shade of blue, and I seem to remember it was quite a popular colour, that blue, for these coupes. I saw a few of them around in the 80s. And then we get this interesting model, the 3-door sports hatch, now for 78. Another very interesting model. I think there was also considering doing a 4-door one of these as well, but they never did, and really possibly not needed because sort of late 70s. Although hatchbacks will be becoming very popular for smaller cars, not so much for larger cars, but I think it looks really nice actually. Anyway, let's look at the text. It says a 3-door sports hatch, choice of a 1600 or 2000 power, so you can get these with the smallest 1600 if you wanted. So the Cavalier can seat up to 5, or it can be quickly converted to carry that extra bulky load, ideal for the motorist who likes a sports car for family and leisure use, but at times needs extra load carrying capacity. What's more, the sports hatch drives and performs as good as it looks. The 2000 engine can sweep it smoothly into 100 miles per hour plus figures, with the lively 1600 model not far behind, and with that sort of road holding and handling that will complement most drivers. Now, once again, it talks about the specifications. Again, it's going to repeat itself because it's still basing it on the L. So the features above the base L model saw velour cloth trim, carpeted lower doors, fold down rear seat, tonneau cover, carpeted load deck, additional sound insulation, continental front armrests, wood veneer door inserts, 4-spoke sports steering wheel, driver's map pocket, dipping mirror, rear assist straps, opening rear quarter vents and extra bright work. Load compartment light, cigar lighter, quartz activated clock, instrument console incorporating rev counter, speedo, voltmeter, oil pressure gauge, and the exterior features extra bright work, a front air spoiler, body side mouldings with PVC inserts, sports road wheels, bright wheel trim rings, different tyre sizes, GLS tailgate badge, sports hatch door pillar badge, GM auto transmission and metallic paint are the options. First image is showing the obvious advantages with getting a hatch, although it's quite a high lip, but many of the 70s hatches were. And then those lovely seats in black that really do look nice with all that extra bright work. Also showing that rear seat folded for the extra space. Again, we've got the little bit of a wood trim there. Does look like a very nice interior actually. We do also get those images with the seats up at the rear and folded down for extra space. Particularly love the rear of these ones. You can see this is a 2 litre, great colour as well, this one. And I also loved how there was a little black section and the Vauxhall name written out in individual letters. Certainly a very nice looking car, and like it says, if we zoom in a little bit, well, I'll try to zoom in as much as I can at least, and you really still can't really see it, but this is where your lettering is there for sports hatch, as it said in the description. We can also see this particular one is an automatic, and also see how it was badged if it was an automatic. And then we finally get to the specifications for these wonderful cars, both the saloons and coupes, so let's have a look at that. So first up is that base engine for the base model, the 1256cc 4-cylinder unit doing 57.7 bhp at 5,600 RPM. We've then got the 1600, which is available on the L and also the GL, and indeed on the GLS Sports hatch. We're a 1584cc 4-cylinder 75 bhp at 5,000 RPM. And finally the top model, the 2 litre or 2000 standard unit in the Cavalier GLS Coupe, but also available for the GL Saloon and GLS Sports hatch. It's a 1979cc 4-cylinder unit doing 100 bhp at 5,400 RPM. Transmission is a 4-speed all synchromesh gearbox with floor shift, option of course for that GM automatic on the 1600 and 2 litre models. Suspension is independent front coil springs, live axle with coil springs at front and rear anti-roll bars, and the brakes dual circuit servo assisted, discs at the front, drums at the rear. A little bit of a note of the wheels and tyres. So the L's got that pressed steel wheel, the GL's got a styled sports wheel, although they're still a steel, they're not alloy wheels of course, and the GLS Coupe and Sports hatch has got those styled sports wheels as well. So that takes us to the colours and trim for the L and GL. So you could have those in polo white, Jamaica yellow, orange tan, bright green, ember red, royal blue, pastel blue, regatta blue, jade green metallic, sapphire blue metallic and bright copper metallic. Of course the metallics are optional extras, but what a wonderful colour range. I really missed that today. Nice colourful cars and a big large selection of colours to choose from. Now for the GLS Coupe and Sports hatch, it looks like it's got a reduced colour range, which is a little bit unusual, isn't it? So we got polar white, Jamaica yellow, orange tan and the metallics of jade green, sapphire blue and bright copper metallic. Next week, the rather interesting Carlton, and what I think is probably the most interesting looking of all the generations, but we'll talk more about that next time. So there we go, the Mark 1 Cavalier. Do you remember these? I'm sure most of us do. So if you jot in the comments any of your experiences or memories of these cars. Like I say, I think, and this is just a personal thing, I think I preferred the look of it towards the Cortina, but in reality the Cortina was streets ahead in terms of sales. At least Cavalier really never caught up to the Cortina with this Mark 1, and actually didn't even catch up to the sale figures of the Morris Marina, amazingly enough. Interesting stuff. Anyway, like I said, next week the Carlton, we'll have a look at that for 78, and I really like the styling of these particular generation of Carltons, and we'll talk more about that next week when we introduce the range. But for now, we'll say thank you so much for watching, and please, if you don't mind, don't forget to like and subscribe if you've not done already. Subscribing is completely free, as in liking the video, but it really helps the channel. So if you're enjoying these videos, it helps both me and you if you do that. Finally, we'll end up on this image of this GLS 2-litre sports hatch, which I think is my favourite model of today, and probably in this colour as well. I think it really suits it. But we'll end by saying I've added a couple of boxes there. Further videos you can have a look at. I'll try and put one box there for this particular series for the 78 Vauxhalls. We'll end by saying thank you so much for watching today. Please do take care, and we'll see you very soon. All the best and goodbye.